Hello and welcome back to another bonus episode. This is now 2 weeks in a row. The Tigers, I'm pretty sure, heard us that they were not spending any money, and then they spend all of the money in 2 weeks. So, a Detroit legend, and I don't really say legend all that strong, like all that much, because it has some weight for me. Justin Verlander is coming home. All of Detroit you can hear. I'm in Connecticut, and I can hear Michigan from here with how this high-pitched glee sound. One of those high-pitched glee sounds is Lee. Lee, how you feeling?
I am unbelievably excited. I did not think I would be this excited if we did, but I am this excited. This is incredible. This is something that fans have wanted for like 4 or 5 years, like since he became a free agent from the Astros. Just bring him home because he wants to be in Detroit. He loves Detroit. We love him. What the? Okay, my browser just exited me out of the screen, so I thought I dropped. Okay. No, this is something Tigers fans have wanted for a while. Like last year it was a huge thing of wanting Verlander to come. We signed Alex Cobb. We know how that went. Blah blah blah. Then there was a report that Verlander wanted to come here, but we weren't interested. I guess Tigers. Now it's here. It's real. It's happening. 1 year, $13 million. 11 of that is deferred. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Justin Verlander is in Detroit again.
Well, I think that's what's funny about it. 1 year, $13 million with 11 million deferred. So Detroit is clearly up against their payroll ceiling. I also
2030. It's deferred 4 years from now, which is like insane to me.
Which honestly is like nothing. I mean, to me, and like I understand, I'm certainly not a millionaire or a billionaire, and never will be. But I understand that they're pushing off money because a dollar today is worth more than it is later. So you want to push off your payments. But I'm also the type, I pay off my bills really like far in advance. And like if I can just pay it in 1 year and be done with it, that seems cleaner to me. Why do I want to dirty up my books for the next 5 years? But who cares? I do. So like he's gonna make $2 million this year, and basically the same thing for the next couple of years. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly doesn't give a shit. I mean, he's like what, second highest in terms of like overall earned money in MLB history.
Well, I was about to say, I'm looking at his baseball reference. If this show sounds very scattershot, it's because I just got home 15 minutes ago. He just signed like an hour ago. So like we're
here. Let me share my screen because I got it.
So his.
If you want to look at down at his page is long.
Yes, it is.
All the way down here. Yeah,
salaries. Yeah, he's basically made $419 million. Yeah. He doesn't care. He should not care how much money he makes this year.
No, he does not care. But this is so exciting. Get us back into a Tigers hat. Get that picture from 2006 back up.
I mean, you got to wait until opening day. That's when baseball reference gets everything. So you got 6 more weeks of seeing Justin in a San Francisco Giants hat, which, by the way, will be the 10 years from now. Remember when this guy played for this team? Justin Verlander for the Giants is going to be that.
It's Justin Verlander for the Mets because he was at the Mets for like half a year, which I still forget about sometimes. I try to forget that. In 2023, he was a Met for 16 games, which is stupid. They did such a good job of photoshopping him into a Tigers uniform.
Yeah, he looks a lot younger too for some reason.
Yeah, weird. Look at that. Yeah, that's him. Why is his Wikipedia picture of Mets? That's disgusting.
I'm very sorry. It's that New York bias.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's look at it just as his core stats here, because I do think, and this should go without saying, this man is 42 years old.
He's going to be 43 in 10 days from now.
Yeah. We were, at the last time this week, we were talking about Fernando Valdez being the ripe old age of 32. Well, this is a full decade on top of that. So, like, I know Verlander has said he wants to pitch until he's 50. I think he would be the first, well, who was it? Oh, my God, slow. I forget his name. People are yelling at their radios right now. I'm sorry. Jamie Moyer, who pitched until like his late 40s. Will he get there? Probably not. But
he had a 3.85 ERA last year. Like, he still got it. Like,
Yeah, and his FIP is. It looks like his FIP is fine. I
his FIP
would
is
maybe
exactly.
argue maybe some of his. I think like when we go to a Savant page, that's what gives me pause because like 143, there's going to be a point where he's not he's not Cy Young winning, but Justin Verlander, and also he's not going to get paid like former Cy Young winner Justin Verlander. He's getting paid $13 million. Like Lee just said, they paid Alex Cobb $15 million to do nothing.
Yeah.
So this mean the $13 million is honestly nothing. And Lee kicked herself off screen. That's a little funny.
But my connection is coming in and out for some reason, I guess. The universe doesn't know what to do when it's 40 degrees outside instead of 4. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, yeah, he's old, but also who gives a shit at this point? Like, it's Justin Verlander. It's
I think that would be my takeaway too. Is and that's what I was ultimately building up to. Is I don't. Who cares? He's not. He doesn't need to be Cy Young, Justin Verlander. Nostalgia alone makes this a good move. Like a good move.
yeah,
$13 million is nothing, even to the Tigers.
yeah. This like I even said before I was like complaining a little bit about how Tigers fans were complaining that Scott Harris was probably going to sign someone old, and B also wanting to sign Verlander. No one gives a shit if we sign Verlander and then he puts up a 5 ERA. Like, there's going to be fans who complain, obviously, but like at the same time, it's Justin Verlander. It doesn't matter, you know. Like,
Right.
this is our guy. Like, he's ours, you know. It's yeah. We talked about the negatives way too early. Let's talk about the fun, more exciting stuff in terms of what he's got. Let me tear off the screen because then I need to figure out my. I am all over the place because I am.
Yeah,
Holy
why
shit.
don't you do that? I will pull up. I know you just said like let's not talk about the doom and gloom, but like I do want to talk about his Savant page because there are certainly some warnings and things that that you do need to be careful with for him. But as you would imagine, just like last week, I do have his highlights from last year. I'm also kind of tracking what his fastball tops out at. Savant says his average fastball velocity was 94 last year. If I remember right, and granted, I haven't watched a lot of Houston Astros because the Twins have not played them a lot in the games that matter. But with Detroit, he would start off at 92, 93 and end the game at 98, 99. So I'm still in that mindset. I'm going to assume that's maybe leveled off a little bit. So like
I
his
think he
average,
still kind of does that though. He still does that a
well,
bit.
that's really my question is. So I'm really not his average fastball velocity. I don't think I want to look at what it tops out at. Can he still touch 98? I'd be very surprised, but I also haven't. I've had 15 minutes to look this up, so I haven't been able to see that yet either. So I'm kind of
I'm gonna
hoping.
be honest. I didn't look that up because I don't really care. I'm just excited that it's just a Verlander.
Well, and that's fine. This is me being the hopefully the objective observer. If he still touches 98, well, first off, holy shit. I'd be very surprised if he does, but even 95 is still plenty of fastball. The issue with if he starts topping out at 94, if it's 89, 90, 91, he's going to start getting hammered because there's just not enough fastball that he's going to be able to sneak by.
Yeah, but counterpoint, it hasn't happened yet. Why is it going to suddenly start happening now at 43
Well,
versus 42? What's
that's
the
going to be the
difference?
problem. It will suddenly happen. Like best example I have with this is Nelson Cruz. Back when I think he was 41 with the Twins in 2021. It was the year he was traded to the Rays. Nelson Cruz was fantastic, and then he got traded to the Rays, where he was not, and he never got it back. Verlander is at the age where one start he can look fantastic, and that might be the last good start of his career because that's just how things go. So again, I'm not trying to be the doom and gloom,
You
but
kind of are. You're kind of raining on my parade I got going on here. Get away.
we,
It's
we can do this
45
sometime later.
seconds.
Let's get all the negative feelings out now then, and then you can tell me I'm wrong and then just say I'm wrong because he's Justin Verlander. So I get it. What I was just quickly looking at his picks, Mitch. I just cannot say that phrase. His picks, Mitch. His
It's okay.
fastball His expected slugging on his fastball was 528 last year. That's not great. His slider kept him in. Expecting slug was 359. Those aren't stellar as you would expect for then a 42-year-old. How does that look 40 a year later? Probably not great. And then I will call it out just because I see it at the bottom of the screen. His we made a big deal last week about Framber Valdez and his ability to not allow pulled fly balls. Verlander is the opposite of what Valdez does. So he will be pulling a lot of a lot of fly balls will be hit to left field. But like Lee said last week, it's Comerica.
Yeah,
That's a
that left
long
field
left
side
field.
is big.
There's a lot
Like,
of field in there.
and like if you look at his stuff in terms of like percentage, those numbers started going up when he was in Houston.
Right.
You know, like that's always been his thing. It's not like it's new. Like even in 2015, like he was still in the bottom percent in terms of like pulled ball rate. But yeah, it's always just been his thing. It's not like it's a new thing that's just come with age.
Yeah. So like I said, he's no longer elite. However, he's fourth in the rotation.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth or fifth. There's also, just to get this out of the way, there is no way in hell he's not a starter. He's a starter. Like he's not going to be in the bullpen. He's not going to be no. He's going to be starting. Like that's no way he's going to
I
be.
think realistic. I think you're 100% right. If I was signing Justin Verlander, I would be more interested in him in the bullpen than I
Sure,
was.
but there's no way in hell that Verlander would have
Well, I
signed
think that's
anything without being the starter. Without being.
I think that's why you're right, is because Justin Verlander has enough weight in his name to be like bullpen. Are you fucking kidding me?
He has
He's
never
been starting for
in his
20
life-
years.
He has never in his life been in a game that he did not start. Like this is without exaggeration. He is a starter. He will not be in the bullpen. I would be shocked if he ended up in the bullpen. So he's going to be a starter. So yeah, probably the number 4 starter, probably, or 5 maybe. But like, we'll see how it shakes out. But like,
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty damn good rotation now.
It was already good last time. Like even just adding Valdez and having Flaherty as your 4th. And then like there was a little bit like the competition was really for 5th, and we talked about Reese Olson, which we can probably talk about that later. The Verlander signing probably not good for Reese Olson in a couple of ways. Lee hinted at it on last show we had. Haven't really heard anything about Reese Olson, and they just signed a starting pitcher. So like, what's going on with the injury, or maybe he's in the bullpen.
Yeah. Yeah. But another thing to bring up in terms of Verlander, let me show you for last season, right? Just talking last season. If I share my screen again, there we go. Let's get this marked out. Yeah, if you look at his splits, like his first and second half were hugely different. Just looking at this, right? Let me find it. Yeah, is this it? Where is his? Where? God, I hate how they organize this. Here's his ERA: 2.99 ERA in 14 games in the second half. Like he started off really rough, but he got a hell of a lot better after the All-Star break. So he still got it. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. Like his WHIP went down, his strikeouts went up, his ERA went down. He started getting wins first of all, which kind of because.
And not for nothing, like it's not on his splits page, but his FIP seemed to be fine. I think it was like high 3s. That's fine.
His FIP is exactly the same as his ERA.
Right. So like,
it's not like he got lucky. It's not like there was a really helped by defense or something. Like, dude is the epitome of the Unk still got it meme. Like, he's still in there. It's still Justin Verlander,
Right.
Just for talking of that. Let's see. Sorry, I am like bouncing around, but I mean, this is huge for Tigers fans because this is our guy. Debuted in 2006. He's been an MVP, a Cy Young, and a Rookie of the Year with us. I mean, some of my best memories as a Tiger fan are the 2011-2012 Justin Verlander pitching in the playoffs. Like when you think of Verlander, that's that guy, right? Mm-hmm. Who came out and he pitched a complete game shutout in the playoffs. you know? So, yeah, and he's, I don't know, I'm all over the place. But yeah, compare it, like, stats wise for last year is pretty interesting. He's got pretty comparable stats to Casey Mize. They just look at it, pretty similar ERA, similar innings amount. Oh, Verlander actually had more innings, similar strikeout rate, all that, and he pitched more than Mize and Olsen did last year. So just in terms of kind of what he's adding, yeah, he's got a lot of it. I know. Sorry, I'm like I said, keep saying I'm all over the place, but
How
holy shit.
many? How much do you remember of this first time around?
A good amount. I mean, I only really remember 2011 onward, so that's like 5 years ish with the Tigers. And the thing is, I didn't pay as much to the pitching as much as I did the hitting wise because I was a child. But I mean, he was good. He was. I when I think of Verlander, I think of those playoff appearances in the 2010s. You know, like he was that guy. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying
I do
much.
remember like he was because the Twins were fairly competitive, at least like up until the 2011 mark. I do remember thinking like he was like the wave of Tigers that were no longer a joke. Like, oh crap! Like we have to. The lineup was kind of lacking, but like you could at least see Verlander taking over a game, and you almost had no chance. And then they added like they already had Cabrera, and then they brought in Fielder and all of that later. But I do remember thinking of him as like, oh crap, like a turning point for the Tigers. How much of my memory is accurate on that, I don't know, but that does seem right to me at this moment.
And like he got a ton of strikeouts too. Like he was the strikeout guy. That's why people always compare Scooble to him because he got a ton of strikeouts all the time, and that's kind of gone away in age. But like he was still getting like 8 strikeouts per nine last season. But he was just he was a presence, you know. Like it's always that's Justin Verlander you got to go against. Like him and Scherzer. I'm gonna be honest. I like Scherzer more than Verlander, partially because I like the different colored eyes thing that Scherzer had going on,
And he was insane.
and he was insane. Yes, but I mean, it was really him and Verlander. Those were our guys. I don't know. I keep repeating myself because I'm. It's only been a couple hours since the signing was announced, and I'm still just over the moon. Like we're gonna have Scooble and Verlander in the same dugout for a year. Like that's insane. Do you realize how crazy that is?
See,
Two of the best.
that to me is probably the most fun part is they just added the previous generation's best pitcher. You can argue Kershaw. Like I'm not going to tell you that's with like an exclamation point that Verlander was the best, but he was definitely in the argument. And now you have the same thing with Scooble, and like not we've talked about it before. This is only Scooble and Verlander. This is the only year to do it. I
There's
think the likelihood of Justin Verlander being back next year is significantly higher than Tarek Skubal being back next year.
yeah, there's gonna be 5 Cy Young awards in that dugout. You know, between the two of them,
I was about to say that's only two, and also Valdez isn't anything to like hide at.
he's
So,
nothing to sneeze at. No,
so yeah, I mean the rotation with Skubal, Valdez, Mize, Flaherty, and now Verlander.
we legitimately have there's like 8 or 9 legit potential starters on this roster right now. Let's talk a little bit about that. So we got Scooble, Valdez, Flaherty, Verlander for sure are going to be his starters. Then you got Mize, probably for your number 5. Olson, Montero, Melton, Anderson could be a starter. Job will be returning. That's a lot of depth for that position. And we can talk about Olson a little bit later. But I mean, that's like 8 or 9 guys potentially who could make starts for the Tigers, which is huge for us comparing. If you look at last season, we had like 7 starters. No, it was 8 starters make at least 7 starts,
Right.
right? And 2024 was pitching chaos for the last 2 months, whereas just we had 1.5 starters. So this is very much obviously the Tigers front office way of seeing the flaws that have happened in previous years and shoring up those issues that we've had, right? So, and I mean, we talked about Verlander as an old ass man. I mean, being an old ass man is helpful when you got a team full of youngsters, like him and Valdez that we just added. Both of those are going to be the only guys over 30 in the starting pitcher office for the Tigers, right? That's going to be helpful. Verlander, a ton of playoff experience, ton of World Series experience. I think he's going to be really helpful just being in the same room as all of our younger guys, right? Like Verlander is, Scherzer was always a crazy one, but Verlander is also kind of nuts. I mean, he wants to pitch until he's 50. You got to be a little bit crazy for that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he wants to pitch till he's 50. That's where I kind of think the bullpen, if he wants that to actually be a thing, I think he's going to have to go to the bullpen at some point. He's not going to be I mean, Jamie Moyer has proved me wrong. But I just that's how I think that's going to go. But honestly, doesn't really matter, What it doesn't matter. We need him. You need him to be good next year, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, he's going to be pitching to one of the guys he was traded for, and Jake Rogers, which is going to be funny.
Oh, that is true. I wonder if they should take advantage of that.
I'm really hoping. So there's this photo of the Tigers rotation. Let me pull this up.
Right. Yeah, I'm just also I'm on the screen is pictures of Verlander the first time he was with the Tigers. He just hit 101 against Torrey Hunter for the Angels, which that still breaks my heart. I am waiting because he played in 2006. There is footage of Justin Verlander pitching in the Metrodome. That's how far back this man goes back. And I just think that would be fun. So I just want to see that clip of just Verlander in the Metrodome, just to kind of signify how long he has been doing this.
When a Verlander debuted in 2006, Kevin McGonigal was 10 months old.
And now he'll share a clubhouse.
Yeah, this photo of the 2013-2014 rotation.
So it's
Sanchez. I want to see this recreated in 2026.
Pitchers holding baseballs.
This one.
I think they can do.
Oh, shut up! Because this is the rotation that went on to win multiple Cy Youngs and World Series with teams that weren't the Tigers. Because this is the picture that always gets referenced for
those who are listening on audio. It's Anibal Sanchez, Max Scherzer, Verlander, Porcello, and I cannot remember Smiley.
Yeah.
Drew Smiley, is that who it is? On the far right.
Yeah, Drew Smiley. I had to double check that. But yeah. This is the picture that always gets referenced when we talk about that rotation of that kind of era of Tigers pitching. But people get a version of this in 2026 because I don't know. I don't know if you know. We're this is so exciting. Yeah,
so
this is.
What put on your objectability hat here?
Objectability, yes.
What is an actual successful season for Justin Verlander this year? Give me like a rough ERA.
And 25 starts, 4 ERA.
Okay. I think you could take that.
I think that's extremely doable. Because for all we've said about him being old, he's had 2 seasons under 150 innings in the last 10 years. Well, not counting COVID, because COVID doesn't count for that. Like, he's durable. He's been pretty durable. He missed 2021. He had some injury in 2024 that he only pitched for like 91 innings or something. But outside of that, he was always back in the 2010s, 2000s. He was pitching 225 innings a year. He would hit. How many complete games did he have?
Right.
And he's from a different era of baseball, which feels weird to say because he's still playing now, but he still got it. He's old, but
he's still productive. He still has something. I don't know if I like it. It I think is a strong statement, but yes, he does have.
You're just a party pooper. I think
I'm very sorry.
You're
I'm
negative.
trying to ground you a little bit. If
No.
I was in your shoes, I would be doing the same thing too. Like if we would have done this podcast in 2015 when Torrey Hunter returned to the Twins, I would have been gushing because my favorite player returned home. It's the same feeling. But I also like, and I don't think anyone is under any illusion this is Cy Young winning Justin Verlander anymore. But there is a little there is some risk to this, or he just might not. If he's so bad, he might also just have to retire in June. You know, there is
Yeah.
that non-zero chance.
But no, like the first time he pitches as a Tiger again, I will cry. It will not be pretty. I will. I like it's gonna be a lot because this was my childhood. This was the guy I grew up with. It was Verlander and Scherzer and Miggy and yeah.
And
And
Jim
like
Leland.
in 2017 or 20, when he was traded, Jim Leland said it had to happen, but don't be surprised if he comes back if Detroit starts winning again.
Mhm.
Here he is again, and yeah, I don't know if I'm making any sense whatsoever, but I'm just we did it. We actually signed him again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
and it makes sense the rotation. Like I said, because like you just said, it's gonna take 7, 8, 9, 10 starting pitchers to get through the season. There's no guarantee Scooble's gonna be healthy. They're adding layers of depth that is gonna matter to get them so you can avoid a collapse like they just had in August. And by the time you get to the playoffs, who knows? I know I keep mentioning Verlander in the bullpen, but like I do think it'll be interesting around September time because we're already talking him as a fourth starter. Typically, you only need three, maybe four in some series. Do you maybe start talking to Justin, being like, "Hey, buddy, don't think we're going to start you in a playoff game, but I
yeah,
do
well,
think you would be pretty good in the bullpen."
I think it's a little early to start talking about playoff rotation and stuff.
Oh, I
I mean,
think it's a guarantee that Detroit makes the playoffs this year, right? You can agree that it's an
sure.
absolute certainty, 100%, not an absolute chance that Detroit will miss the playoffs this year. In fact, they're probably World Series favorites.
I'm not. Stop it. No, don't jinx it. I can't.
Do you think they've asked Justin Verlander what his ring size is for the World Series ring? And like
Oh,
what type of float he would like to be on for the parade?
stop it. Stop it.
Just
No.
saying.
But let's talk a little bit about the Tigers offseason and their front office a bit. I know we talked about this last week, but I feel like it's worth mentioning again. They are now ninth in payroll. Ninth. The last time they were in the top third of payroll was 2017. Like we were already talking about, oh, they're spending money. They are spending money. Like what a week it has been. In the past week, they've signed Valdez and Verlander. Are you kidding me? Like I take back 85% of all the bad thing and mean things I've said about Scott Harris because I mean this has been a pretty good off season. Like I said before, he said they were gonna spend when the time was right. I guess the time is right. Like I guess the question I have for you is do you see this is this an all in move? Like are they going all in or are they just going for building for
You
winning?
can argue all in. I think this signing just Verlander is not the all in move. This seems like the type of signing where Verlander went to his agent and said, "What can I do to get to be in Detroit? Like, I'll take whatever you can do. Just get an offer and like let's make it work." And
Right.
it ended up being and I'm sure Scott Harris like probably picked up the phone and like, I have like no money to spend anymore, man. Like I don't want to insult you with an offer. And then they said like, well, what about deferred money? Great, make it work. Like, and I think
Yeah.
that's realistically how it happened. I think the Valdez was more of the all-in move because you already had. I mean, like we talked about last week, you had Glaber and you had the almost forced signings, the $70 million they added to their payroll by their own volition. Framber on top of that is really what kind of brought it over the edge, and that's when like the rotation really started to click together. We'll see what they do at the trade deadline too, because like they're probably everyone's going to be looking for a reliever. Somebody on this Detroit team, significant, will be injured or at least have a question mark or underperform or whatever. That's when we're going to see like how all in Detroit really is, because that's where when teams get desperate and they sniff a World Series rings, that's when like a McGonagall gets floated around a little bit more seriously. So, but yes, you could make the argument this is an all-in season.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline because I think, what's it? I think at the trade deadline, it's easier to add offense than it is to necessarily add pitching because when you're a lot of the times you'll end up. I, I don't know where I'm going with this. It kind of seems like, especially like relievers, but you'll end up overpaying for
Yes.
pitching for in the post at the trade deadline versus position player. So I think that's the move they're trying to make in terms of like, we'll see where the offense stands. They looked really good for 4.5 months of the season. You know, let's not try. Let's not make some big signing to make a marginal difference right now. Let's see where we're at 4 months from now and where we really need to add a guy in the lineup.
Right. It's a
You
wait
know,
and see thing.
it's a wait and see thing because it's like we got Matt Vierling who was injured, we got Parker Meadows who was injured, Torres was injured on the stretch, Colt Keith was struggling with some stuff. So it's like, okay, these guys could all come back and make a huge difference. Are you really going to sign a guy to make a what? How much of a difference would it really make? Who are you replacing? That's kind of the thing. So I think it's really going to be as I said this last year, the trade deadline will be very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of, I think the plan is for that to be the change in the offseason. I want to talk a little bit more about Reese Olson that we alluded to
Sure.
earlier. Because
Before we get into that, can I show you one really fun? I have the highlights playing on my screen, and there's one really fun screen grab here.
go ahead.
If you probably can't even tell, but who is that young man in the batter's box?
Is that Byron Buxton?
That is a 20. That is 2016 Byron Buxton, looking like a stick. That man has put on some serious muscle since 2016.
I saw a picture of Verlander's first. Let me get it from Reddit. His debut from in 2006. The lineups on here are something to be. Yeah, here. I'm getting this from Reddit, so I'm just. Look at these lineups.
I have no idea. I do not remember Chris Shelton at all. Grady Sizemore is now the first base coach for the Twins. So it's Tigers Indians.
Chris Shelton he had a really good April, and that's like all that's really to be said about his career. It's just
I remember really liking Dimitri Young and Craig Monroe back in the day. I completely forgot about this name. Nuke Logan was just fun to say. I don't think he was very good. He was batting ninth in this lineup. For the Indians that day, Grady Sizemore, Coco Crisp, Travis Hafner, Victor Martinez. That's just fun. Alex Cora, who's now obviously the manager for the Boston. Just a young man.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember Omar Infante. I really liked him for some reason. Back at this is the starting lineup in 2005, when both the Johnny Peralta and Victor Martinez, they would eventually be Tigers. But I mean, this is such a funny lineup. It's just like, yeah, this was when he debuted, and now he's going to be pitching against Alex Cora's team.
This is true. All right. So anyway, about it was a Holton.
Yeah, Olson.
Olson.
Yeah, so we talked about this last weekend, like 3 days ago, but there was a report that had come out where Reese Olson might not be opening day ready, and then we get this, we get a new starting pitching sign up. Ignore the fact that it's Verlander, but let's say today they signed Chris Bassett, right? There are, now we're starting about our rotation. Where does Reese Olson fit in this rotation? Are we looking to say hypothetical Chris Bassett is replacing Reese Olson in the rotation because Reese Olson is now injured and will be starting off the season on the 60-day IL? Because there also is a bit of a roster crunch in terms of who is getting off the 40-man in order to add in this new starting pitcher, right? So is someone going to be DFA'd? Not, is someone going to be going on the 60-day IL?
Mm-hmm.
Or is someone going to be traded? So it could be like Peter Montero ends up being traded or something. Mm-hmm. Sort of that pitching depth we were talking about, because you have like 9 guys who are starters. Or is Reese Olson moving to the bullpen because he's been so injured lately? Or is Reese Olson going on the 60-day IL and will be missing significant time?
If I was a betting man, I would assume he's probably headed to the 60-day IL.
That would kind of be my guess as well.
Because that does, they don't, like you said, if there is a roster crunch, teams will not cut a guy. They will not DFA someone unless they absolutely have to. There's no reason to. They also, I think they have to wait until pitchers and catchers report to put people on the 60-day IL. What'll be very telling for the Tigers is, one, if Olson is going to be on the 60-day one, in which case they've known about this for a minute, or when the pitchers are throwing to the catchers, is Olson part of that workout, or is he completely out of the picture? Because if he's not in the picture, they're probably doing some tests, but that really doesn't look good for his season.
Yeah, it's been weird, right? Because last season he left in right before it was a week before the trade deadline, because that's when we traded for Chris Paddock to replace Olson in the rotation.
Right.
And then towards it was oh, he could be in the playoffs still. And it was okay, well, he could be late in the playoffs. Hypothetically, he could be in the World Series, hypothetically. And then there was, post World Series and going into the off season, I saw reports on oh, he's going through, rehab and training and that kind of thing in December. Right. And then a week ago, there was just a tweet or whatever from Jason Beck being oh, he's going to be ready for opening day. And then 4 days ago, there was a tweet from Evan Petzold, or he mentioned it on his podcast. Reese Olson might not be ready for opening day. So it's very confusing, which is why I'm not ready to say 100%, yeah, he's going on the injured list, but it's what are we doing?
Oh, there's a lot of I'm reading in between a lot of lines, but the script is known. If you pay attention, if you've watched the sport long enough, you can kind of ready for the big warning sign for me is ready for the World Series, and now not ready for opening day.
It's a big alarm bell.
Right, and that's where I feel like there's going to be 2 headlines. If I was going to bet, there's going to be 2 headlines. One is Reese Olson to the 60-day IL, or Reese Olson, I guess it's the same headline, 60-day IL out for season is kind of the headline I'm kind of expecting. Whether that's independent of whether Verlander isn't the reason, but whether this Verlander is a domino of that, I don't know. But it does seem those dots are starting to connect. Now it's just
start to piece a couple things together.
Right. And I said, we will find out a lot when the Tigers report, because that's when the Tigers kind of have to show their hand. Because now there's reporters that can just go, "Where's Reese?" And they kind of have to answer that,
Yeah. Yeah, there's people are at spring training now. Clark and McGonigal are already there. Hinch is already there. A bunch of our beat reporters are down there. So we're going to get something very soon. Mm-hmm. But like I said, he was rehabbing earlier in the off season. He was going through all his training and was expected to be ready. So was something new that came up? Was it still the injury from last season? I don't know. I'm thinking about it too much, but it's the off season. We don't have a lot to.
Well, it's not really the off season anymore, because I think pitchers, I think some teams actually reported today. So it's not even really the off season anymore.
It really is in the off season. But yeah, but still, again, Justin Verlander is back. I am so hyped. I like, yeah. We were talking earlier before, like, so they're paying him $2 million this season. They're probably gonna make $2 million in added like ticket sales and merch and stuff just from this Verlander signing because even the most curmudgeony, grumpy fan who's like, "Oh, the Tigers aren't going to be good this year," even those guys are going to be like, "Yeah, let's go see Justin Verlander pitch again
Mhm.
because it's Justin Verlander." Like I was talking with one of my friends earlier today that were like, "Yeah, let's like we were like, okay, if we could figure out what day he's first pitching at Comerica, we want to go to that game because." I mean, it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be
Do you know? Do
amazing.
they start home or away?
They start away. They start at freaking San Diego.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna start the first game.
It's very possible.
I
AJ Hinch
like
might do that.
again. It's one of those like you watch the sport log. And you get, teams like to do that type of thing, like the really cheesy, like Verlander is the opening day starter one last time. Like my guess
Yeah,
is maybe go if you can get one of those tickets still. Maybe go look to see what they're offering at.
I don't know. I bet they're probably already all sold out because
Probably.
yeah, they're gonna be scalped to all hell. But yeah, it's very. Our first 6 games were on the road, and we play against San Diego to start, which is the whole thing. Anyway,
So I even wonder then. There's no reason. Like I guess you can start him. I mean, you'll be able to tell probably where he's at in the rotation because there's a lot of off days in the first round, so you might be able to pitch him on the road. But if he's near like, let's just say he's the third starter, and there's a couple off days. If he's pitching three, he's probably opening up the season in Comerica.
yeah, it
I
would.
would also like to
Get
think
great growth.
Scooble would also be like, yeah, of course, go do like, yeah, like this guy's gonna get a statue outside the stadium. Like, it'll be
Yeah,
next to mine, but um, yeah,
it's very exciting right now. The week we've had for Tigers fans has been insane. So it's been crazy. I cannot wait. I love Verlander. He's awesome.
yeah.
So
Okay, well, I think
I
with
think
that,
I'm ready for that.
we'll do one last question.
Oh boy.
You were excited for Valdez. On a scale of 1 to 10, what was Valdez and what was Verlander?
Valdez, I'd probably put him at a 8.5. Verlander is just a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like it's
What would
right
take the
between
10?
there. Hmm?
What would take the 10? Like, would it just be
Extending Scooble.
got
That
it?
would extending Scooble or signing like a trading for George Springer or something. Like ridiculously high expectations for that. The only thing holding me back for a perfect 10 for Verlander is just concerned of what's going on with Reese Olson because I really like Reese Olson.
Sure. All right. Well, I think with that we'll wrap it up. We've gone 43 minutes on Verlander alone, and a lot of probably repeated ourselves a lot. So apologies for that. Like I said, this was really put together pretty quick because he just signed and it just seemed like the right thing to do. 2 weeks in a row doing an emergency or a bonus episode, but I mean he's a
After
Detroit
a
legend,
year of nothing, so
so who knows? Maybe he's back to do what LeBron James did with Cleveland. He left, he came back, won a World Series, and then I mean, unfortunately, LeBron left Cleveland again, but don't tell Dan. I don't think he knows that yet. But yeah, so with that, we will see you guys later this week, probably the regular schedule. But like I said, we're 5 individuals. Sometimes schedules can get messy. So we'll see you guys later.